Doors and home learning began. The disruption to education has been profound, but BBC Politics London can reveal almost a quarter of 11-year-olds in the capital were having difficulties learning to read even before the pandemic. That's according to newly released government data. The Liberal Democrats are now calling for an urgent review into reading standards post-COVID and a warning of a reading crisis in our schools. Our reporter Jessica Ewer has this.
These students started high school in September after 2 years of remote learning on and off in years 5 and 6.
Every day I was like, oh my God, I'm missing school, what am I doing? I have no brothers or sisters, it's just me and my mum. So I was definitely isolated.
It was quite stressful because the teachers couldn't help you.
I have a sort of mental disability, finding it hard to concentrate or read certain words sometimes.
And having access to teachers, does that mean that they make reading easier for you?
Yeah, because they can tell me what the word means or help me read it aloud.
Twickenham School was the first in the borough to start giving live lessons remotely.
All of you have.
The head teacher was determined not to let lockdowns widen the disadvantage gap for her students.
Our consistent message really to students was don't let COVID take away from your future. Students missed out a lot on primary, not just with their reading, but also with regards to social skills, how to interact, how to play at playtime. We've introduced for the first time this year a handwriting club, because we felt actually with some students handwriting had slipped, and we'd never seen that before. It was really, really important that we put everything in place to make sure the impact of COVID was not detrimental to our students.
Local MP Munira Wilson has been calling for additional school support from government.
I was really disappointed to see such widespread school closures throughout the pandemic. Clearly, we had to put public health first. But my concern was that the government didn't really think or plan very well for a lot of those school closures, and they certainly didn't provide the support that schools needed. But schools like Twickenham School defied the odds and really went above and beyond. The government hasn't gone anywhere near far enough. Their own advisor recommended £15 billion in children's recovery, and they've only put in £5 billion of that.
The Lib Dems are now calling for this urgent review into reading ages, and you're supporting that as well?
Yes, absolutely. So we need a full review. When I look at the numbers, I think in London and across the country, we were already in a reading crisis pre-pandemic, so I dread to think what the situation is now.
Those numbers are newly released data from 2019. They show almost a quarter of 11-year-olds in London have a below expected reading ability. That's 7 students in an average class of 30. The numbers vary drastically across London. In Hackney, it's over 700 students. And all of this pre-pandemic.